everybody. Welcome to another episode of Pineapples and Peppers.
Here, live in the flesh.
Live in the flesh.
Yeah.
Live in the flesh. We have one more special guest with us here today.
Her name is Lexie from the Danley Grind.
Yes.
So tell us about yourself, Lex.
So my name is Lexie, like Morgan said. We're actually cousins.
What? I just met this girl today.
Just kidding. So Mo and I are actually cousins, and I have a channel with my other cousins and my sister called the Danley Grind, so check us out. Mo can put the info in the description box below. And it's just a vlog channel, lifestyle channel, so it's funny, good stuff. So please follow us there too.
Yes, so today we wanted to bring Lexie on to share a little bit about her family history, or kind of our family history around health, and to see if she had any questions surrounding any certain conditions or what she should do as a young woman to prepare herself for her life, you know, in general.
Exactly. So yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your family history as far as health is concerned.
Okay, so of course everybody's family has different ailments. I think one of the things that really plague my family is diabetes, and so especially on my dad's side, we have it a little bit on my mom's side, but mostly on my dad's. So my father has it, my grandmother has it, all of his siblings have it. So it's something that I'm always concerned about in terms of just what I should be doing to prevent that in my life.
Right, which is actually really good that you actually have that even on your mindset, because you look at a lot of people who might be in their 20s, you know, around our age, and they're like, well, you know, it's not that, it doesn't really affect me, you know, it's not something that's present now that's happening, and so it's not really a thought that they want to process.
And they're just like too busy. They're like too busy to even think of like what's gonna happen next as far as health is concerned. Which is a lot of the ways that people find out that they do have diabetes, right? They start to see signs and symptoms, they go to the doctor, bang, A1C is high, what, I have diabetes.
Or it's borderline.
Or it's borderline or something. So, and then I see a lot of people coming like scared, you know, late 30s, early 40s, like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even know this would happen to me. Like, what do I do? What do I do? So, essentially today we're gonna kind of talk to Lexie, talk to Morgan. I'm gonna talk to everybody. We're all gonna talk to each other. We're gonna kind of see what we can do to help kind of prevent these health ailments, right? So Lexie, did you have any specific questions?
I guess what would be a trigger in terms of like having diabetes? I know because my mom was like so scared because everybody had it in my family. So when I was younger, she was even testing me for it and like just trying to see if I didn't have it. So what would be the triggers? Is it something you need to go to the doctor for, or can you tell through your own personal just changes in your body?
Right. So diabetes essentially is what we call like a silent killer, right? Kind of.
But it is like a stroke or something.
Right. No, feels like there's not a lot of symptoms, and it depends on the person, like whether you have symptoms or not. So it really just depends. But the main thing that we want to do is we want to maintain a pretty leveled blood sugar most of the time, right? So essentially, when we have really elevated highs, really low lows,
that's when you have issues.
a lot of different times, like during the week, during the month, and during the year, during a lifetime, then our body starts to react to that, and insulin isn't as sensitive. So then we start to develop symptoms of diabetes, right? So essentially what diabetes is, especially if we're talking about type 2 diabetes, is that insulin becomes insensitive. So what insulin does is it opens the cell in order for sugars to enter the cell.
See insulin as the key. I got the keys.
Yes. So insulin is the key that opens the cell door in order for sugars to enter the cell. And if it doesn't do that, then sugars just floating around in the blood, not doing anything. So essentially, we want to make sure insulin is being as sensitive as possible. We want to make sure our blood sugars are pretty leveled, and that way we can help prevent diabetes, essentially. So how do we do that?
Right, and so what Anita was saying was, you know, the high highs and low lows. How that happens is from inconsistency, right? When we're, you know, of course you want you to treat yourself. I believe in that wholeheartedly, but it's those drastic, you know, dietary habits that we have that can cause our body to not, you know, become sensitive to insulin, which is what we want.
So like what types of foods and things like that?
So first of all,
my diet's horrible.
Right. No, not right. I mean, honestly, a lot of people think their diet's like really bad. They need to throw everything out of their cupboard and start over, which is not true. First things first is if you're not eating 3 meals a day every 4 to 5 hours.
So you should eat breakfast.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, 100%. Here's why.
Okay.
What happens
Break it down.
Because I don't. I mean, I'll eat maybe starting like at 1 o'clock. When
Okay.
I'm starved, then I'll eat.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's pause a bit. Tell us about tell us about what starvation feels like. Or hunger.
Yeah, I get like irritated.
Mhm.
At that point it's like whatever's there, I'll just eat.
Okay, so yeah, so those are signs of starvation, right? We don't want to get there. We want to get to a place where, like I mentioned, everything is pretty neutral, right? When your blood sugars are neutral, you feel neutral, like so.
It's no
essentially,
high or low.
exactly. So when you wake up, your blood sugars are pretty okay because your liver just shot sugar into your blood from fasting overnight, so you're pretty okay. So you think you feel okay, but essentially we want you to eat within an hour after you wake up, right, within the hour. And then if you don't, then you know your blood sugars are gonna go down, and then you're just gonna 1 o'clock, anything that's around, I'm gonna grab it and I'm gonna go shoot up goes the blood sugars, right? So we're already on an inconsistent like high low, right?
So you shouldn't get to the point where you feel hungry.
No.
Or you feel starving.
Ravenous.
Okay. Yeah. Or you're like moody, like those signs and symptoms, like
headache.
Yeah.
All these like, bruh.
Yeah. You should get to the point where it's like, okay, I think if I wait another hour, then I'm gonna have these symptoms, so maybe I should eat now.
Okay. Right. And when we're talking about eating breakfast, we're not talking about pancakes, and the works. Just something that you're breaking a fast, right? Breakfast.
So what would be the key ingredients I should have in a healthy breakfast?
Carb and protein.
Right.
Okay.
Carb and protein. So carbohydrate could be, something as simple as a piece of toast with peanut butter and a banana.
Okay.
Right. So very simple breakfast. You have your protein from your peanut butter, almond butter, whatever you want to use. You have your whole grain tortilla or a piece of bread, and then you have a banana, which is also carbohydrate.
Exactly. So what that
So complex or simple, I guess.
Complex.
More complex.
Okay.
If you want to go the simple route mentally, so it's like more complex carbs. Here's why. So with the complex carbs come fiber, right? So we want to be heavy on the fiber. And when I say, first things first, if you don't eat 3 meals a day, start with having 3 meals a day, 4 to 5 hours, is because when we eat the fiber in our food, it helps to break down and release those blood sugars slowly over time.
So you don't get the highs, because your body is like, okay, the fiber is attaching to it, is able to slowly, steadily release it into your bloodstream versus
as needed,
right?
Essentially, right? Okay. So that by the time you hit lunch, you're like, okay, like I'm ready to go, like I'm ready to have another meal now to carry me over, right? So we got through. Okay, so first things first is eating 3 meals a day every 4 to 5 hours, including breakfast. Second one is including a lot of fiber.
Right.
A lot of fiber. So those are pretty much the most solid things. And number 3, I would say, is exercise.
Yeah.
Exercise is number 3. We have really, there's a lot of research that has come out to find that exercise has actually been used as like a form of medicine for people with diabetes.
Yeah, with high,
because it increases insulin sensitivity like firsthand, like right away. Like if you have high blood sugars, you go for a walk, like your blood sugars are now low.
And as a testimonial, I know for myself, sometimes I'll wake up and I'll say, well, I want to go for a run or whatever. And if I don't eat anything, by the time that run or walk is over, your blood sugar's so low, you're like, I gotta eat, because your body, the exercise has helped you decrease your blood sugar. Right, so that's obviously, it makes sense that if you want to, decrease your blood sugars, exercise is something that can help you do that. And so being consistent with your exercise as well is really important.
Definitely. Now, Morgan, real quick, I know that you kind of suffer from like low blood sugar situations. Because Morgan put in like 2-3 hours of like dancing, you struggle with elevating.
Yeah.
Let's talk about snacking a little bit.
Yeah. So snacking is important, and I found, it's a balance, and everyone's lifestyle is so different. And as a dietitian, I'm like, duh, Morgan, you should know that. But with the dancing, I don't want to eat too heavy, but then I have to eat. But what time do I eat? Because it has to be enough time before I exercise so that I'm not like,
but then does it defeat the purpose for you to be exercising and then eat after again, even though you're going to get hungry because of that?
Right. Well, does it defeat the purpose?
Yeah, or I guess, I know we're talking about diabetes, but just in terms of regulating your weight and things like that, if I'm going to eat right before I work out and then eat again because I'm...
Yeah, so when we say eat, we're not talking about like a meal. It needs to be something very small. So usually before, I'll eat, or preferably maybe an oatmeal type of like very, very small amount, like a half a cup to a cup. And this is maybe an hour, 2 hours before I've worked out. And maybe put some nuts and some fruit in there. So once again, the fiber in the oatmeal is having a slow release in my body so that I'm not starving while I'm working out. Mind you, there are some dance classes. I want to go spin after I've just had oatmeal or something like that, right? And then after I work out, I also tend to have something because it's usually when I'm going to sleep. I don't want to be, I'm the type of person where, I struggle with low blood sugar, and hunger can wake me up if I don't eat something.
It's not, that's real. No,
It's a problem. Like, I get my metabolism fast, and if I don't eat something after I worked out, mind you, I'm working out dancing for 3 hours, so I do need to eat something post workout. So I found that if I don't eat something, I have those issues. So it can be something really small, like I'll have like maybe a Greek yogurt with some fruit in it and granola. So it's pretty balanced.
And it also kind of depends on the type of workout. So if you're doing more aerobic activity, here's the thing though, like if you don't have enough sugars in your body to feed like your workout, it'll start pulling from your muscles. So you really, it's not about being like low fed and then going to work out. So it's about being like pretty well fed, because you don't want energy. You don't want energy to be pulled from that muscle, like at all.
Because you're trying to build a muscle or whatever it might be.
Yeah,
and that's something that I've had to balance. When I was training for a race, I was on a different type of diet, and I was diet. And I when I have really that muscle fatigue, my post workout the next morning, I feel like I have been hit by a bus because I wasn't
nourished.
consuming. I wasn't nourished.
So when you feel those aches and pains, of course it could be because you're training, but it could also be because you're
of the fatigue, the muscle fatigue from not pre and post as well. So
so it's almost like with stretching, like in order not to injure yourself, you kind of need to do something previous to your workout. And that's good.
That's actually a great question. I think a lot of people think that I'm just gonna eat way less and like go work out. And then they just like, this is normal.
Like if I eat less and then work out more, then I'm gonna lose more weight.
That's a great question.
But any more questions, Lexie? I mean, did we kind of clear it up?
Yeah,
it was a lot.
No, you all did.
Excellent. So every now and again we'll try to bring on some special guest with some interviews just to kind of keep things spiced up a little bit. So
thanks for being our first, Lexie.
Thank you. It was fun. I learned a lot. I appreciate it.
Excellent. Power Peppers. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for tuning in. Bye.